Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Occasional TPK. Now, you may be asking, who or what is Occasional TPK, right? What is that? Well, a group of my friends and myself gathered together to enjoy the world of tabletop RPG. And while we're enjoying this, we decided to record our shenanigery and share it with everyone who feels like listening to a few nerds just freak out about make believe things, right? Well, that sounds good, but what's with the name? What is TPK? Well, for starters, TPK is a commonly used acronym in the world of RPG, which stands for Total Party Kill. And despite the name, I don't plan on killing my players. So, the goal of the players and the dungeon master or game master will be to provide an immersive and fun experience, right? With the occasional TPK. But seriously though, our goal is as a group is to role play out these scenarios whether we fumble or succeed. We plan to have a blast and make sure to record it all and bring you guys along so we can all have fun. Well, now you know a little about OTPK. But who the hell is this guy? This guy that's been talking this whole time. Well, I'm glad that I pretended you asked who I am. Well, my name's Abel. And I'm going to be the GM or DM for this adventure, depending what you prefer, right? Dungeon Master or Game Master. I have ranked games for both D&D 5th edition and 3.5, as well as dabbling in some Call of Cthulhu. And although I have played all of those, the one I have most of my experience in is Pathfinder First Edition. And personally, yeah, Pathfinder First Edition is my favorite. But that's not to say the other ones aren't good. The other ones are good as well. They're just, they're different kinds of tabletop games. D&D and Pathfinder do have a bit of history, but all you need to know is that I love both of them. Me and my friends, we love playing both of them, and depending on how we feel, we'll pick one up instead of the other, right? Both of these systems have an amazing setting and great adventures, which brings me to the next subject here, the adventure. What will we be playing? Well, I will be running these guys through Waterdeep Dragon Heist, 5th edition D&D adventure. Waterdeep Dragon Heist is a cool city-based adventure, or where the group kind of goes off into the city and gets themselves into like a whole bunch of trouble, and they solve riddles and beat bad guys, whatever you feel like doing. But this brings me to my next point. Like, well, what kind of characters are we here to expect? Well, when it comes to making characters, there's two major ways you can create a character when it comes to their stats, right? You got the point buy method and then you got the rolling method. What's the difference? Well, a point buy provides a mathematical way to spread points among character stats, giving all players a balanced and equal way to create characters. Yeah, so I hate myself, and since I hate myself, I'll allow them to roll for stats. Now, there are multiple ways you can go about rolling stats. There's different methods. The more common and brutal one is roll 3d6 and then cry in a corner, right? But then there's the one I prefer, the one that we ended up using for this game, which is roll 4d6, re-rolling once, and keeping the highest three. So you add those numbers up and then you place them into, your respective stats. Strength, intelligence, dexterity, however you feel like distributing the scores. So if you think this is your jam, feel free to like follow us on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and you can locate us by searching Occasional TPK. If you enjoy the show, please leave a like, subscribe, let us know how you feel about it. I'd love to hear from the listeners on about what you thought about our show. So you're still with me, right? All right, good, because I'm glad you're here. Well, since you're still here, I can assume that you're at least slightly interested. And not to hold you guys here any longer, we can end this hoopla and get the occasional TPK show started with episode 1, part 1. Well, that's a troll. Well, you guys know who I am, so I don't really have to explain too much to you guys, but I am Abel, and I'm going to be the GM, and I'm going to be hosting Waterdeep Dragon Heist with these three fucking guys. Um, I've been playing with them for, what, like 10, 8 years? I mean, there's
At least
gaps in
2 weeks.
between.
A hot minute.
Yeah, there's gaps in between, but we're not gonna count. We're gonna ignore those gaps and pretend we weren't living in a fucking basement, not talking to anybody for those brief years. I'll go ahead and introduce our first player here. Dale, did you want me to use your? Oh, well, I already used it. Dale, can you please
You're good.
introduce your character?
I'm already like on Twitch and whatnot under my name, plus YouTube. So
Hey, no self promotion. Shut the fuck up.
Come on, quick.
I'm just
fun
kidding.
fact, none of
This
that
is
is
now a
actually on my
sponsored
own
video?
account.
Dale will be subsidizing the channel for this session.
For all his noble money.
I want all
Follow
the money you
him
make,
at
Dale.
Dale at Instagram.
But go ahead, Dale. What's up? Keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good. I am playing Balan the Roaringhorn. His mother was originally a Kalashani? I forget what the people of Kalimshite is called. And
Can't help you there.
Pretty sure it's just Kalimshites. But what do I know?
yeah, well, the current head of the Roaringhorn family from Waterdeep was basically on vacation in Kalimshite. They met and kind of became a thing. And 9 months later, Balan happened.
A perfect baby.
Wow,
He's
so deep.
You're playing a baby, are you?
No, it's been like almost 30 years since then.
Okay. Has he grown up at all, or is he still basically a spoiled baby?
He relies on daddy's money a lot.
Like to buy a whip.
What do you use that whip for, by the way? It's all nice and shiny, coiled on your hip right there.
Long range green flame blades.
Oh my.
Like, his dad's big in the mercenary business. That's how he ended up being a Waterdeep noble. And he's had a very varied education. A little sprinkling of magic in his life. Lots of martial prowess. But because of the structure at home, he's a little chaotic when he's out and about and away from his parents.
Okay, so he is, I can assume, what Matt said over there, a little spoiled. He takes his money and kind of does whatever he wants when he's out in town, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
I gotcha. All right, our next player is gonna be Rob.
That's me.
Ooh, it's him. Go ahead and explain your character. What's the deal?
I am playing the illustriously named Prod Macross.
God damn it.
Named by my ingenious intellect and totally not stolen from a character sheet that was available to me that was incorrectly available to me. So he's a druid. He's a new member of the Emerald Enclave, following in his father's footsteps. He doesn't know how important his father is to the Emerald Enclave, mainly because I haven't spoken to the GM about it yet. But he knows he's someone of some import, and that's what he does for a living. He wants to teach adventurers how to survive in the wilderness and such. But currently he's a noob, so he doesn't even know how to do that himself yet.
It'd make for a fun adventure.
Yeah. So he just
Yes.
kind of joined the Emerald Enclave. He's a grunt, and he's just waiting for his first mission. And while he's doing that, he's just kind of chilling in Waterdeep.
Yep.
And he has no idea what
Milling
he
about
says.
looking for bags of stones.
Bags of stones. He just picks up loose cobblestones from the street.
Well, he's got to fight somewhere.
All right, and our last player, our third player here is going to be Matt. And what are you, or who are you playing, Matt?
I am playing Sam, Sam is a 37-year-old street urchin with graying brown hair that is matted with all kinds of filth, and he has nice piercing blue eyes. Sam grew up on the streets of Waterdeep, and after years of hard living, he's not really the best in the best condition. He's long since turned to Giggle, a drug peddled by the local Thieves Guild, to soothe the pain of his rotting teeth and the loss of his many friends over the years. Sam is not entirely there, and you can see him wandering the alleys of the Dock Ward, or nestled up amongst the statues in the City of the Dead, often talking to himself or to a cabbage that he brings along with him, who he has named Fred, and is his best and friend and longest, truest companion. And basically, he just goes around begging or mugging people for giggle money.
So he's a little druggy boy.
Yes.
And is Giggle like a type of
It's crystal meth.
Crystal meth? Okay, I was gonna say, is it a powder? Is it a plant? But it's a powder. I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right then. All right. Well, we're gonna start off in the Yawning Portal. You're all here for one reason or another in a separate portion of the Yawning Portal.
Yeah.
There's just a giant hole in the middle of this place.
Yes. So when you guys get to the Yawning Portal, you have your tavern owner right there in the back, and he hands drinks. He's got some assistants that hand out the drinks, and it is a 3-tier tavern. And in the center of this tavern is a well, which adventurers can climb down and venture the kind of explore the undermountain beneath, which is this colossal, huge dungeon. And this dungeon, adventurers go down to find wealth and they bring it back. But it is extremely dangerous. Can go down it at a cost. It is 1 gold, I believe, per journey. Or per use of the well, and then you guys can exit it as well. There are times when something like pops out of the well and like fucks with people at the tavern, but it's all part of the Yawning Portal experience. So you're all chilling at the Yawning Portal. What is Balan doing at the Yawning Portal, Dale?
Balan is here because he's been put in charge of the more financial transactions of his father because, well, he's not good for much. At least he can walk around and take receipts and take orders.
And why is he at the Yawning Portal? There's no business your family has here with the Yawning Portal.
But that's why we're here, is because there's no business. We're here to try and see if we can sell some of our wines from our estates over in Cormyr. Maybe they'd be interested in some of our beer.
Okay, so you're probably speaking...
Maybe they need bouncers.
I gotcha. So you're speaking to Dunham, the proprietor, obviously. So you're on the first floor, in front of the table, like in front of the countertop there. And you're probably trying to speak to him. What specifically are you saying to him to try to convince him to get some of your resources, some of the resources your father has to provide?
You ever have issues with adventurers not listening, or maybe just starting random brawls?
Random brawls tend to happen, but it's not a big issue. It is Waterdeep. You'll see it on occasion, but as long as it doesn't happen in here, I don't care.
Okay, so you're not going to need any security forces. But what about...
They tend to resolve themselves, so even if it does happen, I don't think I'll need any kind of a bouncer.
Okay. How is your beer selections? We have a nice, lovely hoppy beer. It's brewed very well. We've got dwarven brewers for it.
Yeah, he kind of like rubs his beard. Well, as you can see, and he points to the back, we have a variety of spirits directly behind me, and then on top, we got a good supply of cask here of a fresh brew of either mead or beer.
Like, our beer and ale is so good it can be considered dwarven holy water.
And go ahead and give me like just a quick persuasion. Well, you know what? I don't seem to be carrying any spirits or ale from the Roaring Horn family. I'm willing to try it out. Go ahead and bring me a sample when you get the chance, and we'll see how it does.
Perfect.
All right. And Sam, what are you doing here? For now, you can definitely see.
Yeah. There's some random dude over at the bar.
Yeah, there's a
talking
random
to
guy
the-
over at the bar speaking to Denim. What are you doing,
Yeah.
Sam?
I'm walking around, generally disturbing the guests, not so much from my actions, but just because I smell like someone who hasn't bathed in 37 years and spends a lot of time in the sewers. And I'm going around, dressed as a little boy because I'm a halfling,
Oh, okay.
and asking if anyone has some food to spare or some spare change.
So you're currently disguised as like a child, right? Is what you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Just give me a quick deception to see if you can actually fool people into thinking you're a child.
sure.
Oh yeah. So you're walking around and you look like this kid, obviously. What kind of child do you look the same, just younger, or did you change your appearance in any other way?
I look pretty much the same. I've just caked a little extra dirt on my face so people can't see the wrinkles.
So you look
And-
like you're covered in soot and grime. You're coming in from
Yeah.
like probably the dockyard, and you're just a child trying to make some extra coin.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so you kind of like walk into the you walked into the tavern, and you've been wandering around and asking people for coin, and they're like, "Oh, child, you probably shouldn't really be in here. It's a bit dangerous with the well, and but you know what? I do. Here, look, just take this and please make your way out. I don't wanna see you get hurt. Just kind of wandering the tavern here." And he hands you like a copper piece.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. This should feed me and Fred for a good night. Oh, bless you, bless you. May the gods favor your soul, sir. Oh, so
Yeah.
kind, so kind.
And then he goes back to doing what he's doing, but obviously he turns to see if you're okay. But being the little sneaky halfling that you are, you probably don't take his word of warning and leave the the tavern. You probably just continue doing your thing, asking other people.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe stealing a bit of floor cheese too.
Floor
know.
cheese. Ooh.
Fighting with any dogs for scraps under the table.
Go ahead
you
and
know.
give me a sleight of hand.
Sure.
So, as you're kind of wandering around at this child, every now and then you get a person to tell you, "Hey, you probably shouldn't be here, right?" But as you're kind of making your way through the tavern, you see a plethora of food that kind of catches your eye. What in particular would Sam's favorite food be?
Well, it's not so much Sam's favorite, but Fred really likes salmon.
So, as you're kind of wandering the tavern, you do notice that there's been like a half salmon just kind of left on the table, grilled salmon. Looks pretty nice, and it's got like a side of potatoes and asparagus and shit like that. So you if you wanted to, you know that you can probably nab that without being noticed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
I've
you
got to
take
take
like
care of Fred.
you take the plate, the silverware, and you're just kind of walking and eating.
Here you go, Fred. A little bit of salmon for you. And he's sticking salmon and the mashed potatoes in between the little leaves of cabbage.
Gotcha. And you continue meandering and doing what you do, just trying to make some pocket change and for that giggle, as well as
Yeah.
eating where you can eat. And while you're doing that, Prod, what is Prod doing over here at the Yawning
Rod
Portal?
is celebrating his initiation into the Emerald Enclave.
Ooh,
Probably for like the third day running.
is he here with a group, or is he here on his own, just kind of excited?
He's just here on his own,
All
just
right.
doing his thing. He has friends, but after 3 days of binge drinking, it's like, all right, chill out a little.
Relax, it's just the Enclave, buddy. You didn't get into Yale or anything. Come on.
You accept literally everybody.
It's like community college, okay? Just I'm happy for you, but no, but
Check didn't bounce.
but no, I get it. You've been partying for a while, and your friends have kind of like stepped away, but you're still very excited about being part of the Enclave.
Yep.
And while you're out here, like partying, drinking up, what is your particular drink? What is it that you've been ordering repetitively?
Switching between really hard spirit drinks and stuff that just has shitloads of sugar in it. It's probably like whiskey and then like honey wine or something.
Oh, holy shit! Okay, so you've been getting the energy from the sugar and the super drunk from the high spirits. So you're kind of like hyper and you're probably a little loud. You've been excited. You've been partying, and on occasion you probably pay attention to bars, see what's going on, what's happening, and as you're like enjoying your drink, every now and then you hear, "Hey, someone took my salmon! Who the fuck?" And you just hear that like off in the corner, some dude's just being rowdy. Is there anything that Prod would be doing here that's just kind of something
Well,
he?
Bod has been very interested to know the number of deaths caused by falling over these banisters into the well. That is
so,
information that is vital to my existence.
so yeah, you kind of like start up a conversation about this well in the middle of the tavern. Probably not safe. Now there has been a wall that's kind of been set up around it to keep people from falling in, but on a drunken stupor, there has been a few occasions where people probably tumble inside, especially in the opening right there, where people step out and catch that rope, right, to take them down.
Yeah.
So no one's really kept track of that, but you can definitely assume that at least one drunken man has probably fallen in there in the time that this tavern's been open.
Yeah, I've been around drunks, and the high wall is not enough to stop someone falling over something.
Alright then, guys. So while you're all doing your own thing, you do hear some commotion off in the back corner of the yawning portal. It seems to be happening on the first floor, and it's near the entrance to the yawning portal. Basically, shit talking for the most part, and it seems to be between 5 patrons and then one half orc, and they're all kind of like just surrounding this half orc, and he's kind of off in the distance from all of you, as well as the group, and they all kind of just have surrounded this half orc, and she seems to be a little agitated by their presence, and you can see that within seconds of them just kind of yelling at each other, fists begin flying. As you sit around your wooden table or wandering around the cobblestone floors, you can see let me see. Your meal and your thieving and your drinking is interrupted by a shout coming off from that direction that I explained earlier. "Ya pig! Like killing me mates, does ya?" As you see this 7-foot half-orc gets hit by this like wild punch, and it just knocks this half-orc back. And you can see the person who threw this punch is a male human with a shaved head and seems to have some kind of eye tattoos. There are 4 other human behind him, and they all seem to be ready to jump into the fight. And honestly, they're already in there. They're kind of like pushing this half-orc back and forth as the guy continues to like punch her. She puts up a fight as well, and she seems to be much stronger than these 5 people that have kind of gathered around her. As she cracks her knuckles, she roars and just leaps into the guy with the tattooed face, and they all kind of like surrounded her, but she's going at it, and she's like knocking this dude's mouth, and this dude's like punching back, and the other guys are like helping her out, or helping him out.
Abel, would I be seeing this as well?
Yes. Everybody's seeing this, and you can just kind of hear like dumb, hey, quit it, take that outside.
Oh, Belan will not stand for ganging up on a woman.
And one thing is, Sam, you are familiar with the 5 gentlemen. You've seen them somewhere. Probably don't remember their names or anything like that, but you've probably seen them around.
Like on the streets, or are they part of a gang that perhaps my gang is not on good terms with?
They are actually part of the eye tattoo. Kind of gives them a way of being part of the same organization that you're intertwined with.
See, I see. Good. Beat her up. Yeah, good. Yeah.
So you see, yeah, like there's other patrons with you that are actually looking at the fight, and rather than helping, they're kind of like excited. Yeah, get her, no, get her. You have different people taking different sides, and then Dunham's just a little frustrated with, "Nah, take this shit outside. Don't be fighting in my tavern."
As I see people getting distracted, I'm kind of face level with their money pouches. Would any of those happen to be, pilferable?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you kind of egg on the fight around you, can you give me a persuasion to see if you can get more people distracted to join in the
Absolutely.
fight? Yeah, give me a persuasion check to see if you can get more people to join in the excitement.
Not at all.
You didn't get too many people, but you can still give me a sleight of hand as you look around for those who are actually cheering on in the fight and ignoring those that are kind of more ignored that their meal's getting interrupted. And as you look around, you're able to pilfer at least 10 copper pieces off everybody around you. Those who are a little distracted. And
We gonna party well tonight, Fred. We got salmon and giggle monies.
Yeah, you could probably get some nice like shitty version of giggle.
Yeah.
You
really
got a whole silver piece.
Nice.
Yeah, you can get a nice like ounce of some giggle.
I'll have to share some with the guys. Make it worth their time.
What about you, Sam? You said you were doing something when you saw this happen? Oh, not Sam.
Sam was just doing things.
Yeah, that was Sam. I meant to say Balan.
Rod? Oh.
Balan?
Yeah, Balan said he wanted to do something as he saw them kind of like gang up around her.
Yeah, Balan wants to get involved.
Yeah.
I shall not gang up on a woman in front of Balan.
Sexist.
Bond is going to do the smart thing and place bets.
All right.
All of the money. Say 5 silver on the green one.
So I'm gonna take care of Prod really quick, Balan, because that'll be a little quicker, and then we'll go ahead and see how you.
Also, it makes sense to take bets before we resolve the fight.
Yes. So yeah, Balan, you're kind of like pushing people out of the way. Trying to make your way through the fight. Go ahead and just give me a strength, athletics, or dexterity kind of check as you try to maneuver your way through and kind of push people out of your way. Balan, so as you're trying to make your way, you're kind of trying to wedge your way through, and you are getting past them still. Dunham doesn't seem too impressed by this. He's like, well, I mean, don't really need that kind of help. But if he can stop the fight, that's great. But again, you're trying to make your way through. And Prod, I didn't need a strength check from you. What I needed was a persuasion as you begin taking bets. Well, higher than a 20.
22.
20, yeah, it'd be better than 20. So, as you begin placing bets, people are like coming in, they're heading towards your table, and it's actually making it easier for Balan to get over to the commotion as you're attracting the crowd and pulling them away. And as they show up, they start like dropping copper pieces and silver pieces. They're placing bets on who's who. And since you're placing the bets, you're just gonna take a cut of this, all right? And you're not really, or unless you're placing a bet as well, or you just get.
I also placed a bet. I placed a bet on the green one.
On the green lady?
That's
Okay.
half ox and swole.
All right then. Let's see what we got here. All right. So right now you have a pool of what appears to be 10 copper pieces and then 2 silver pieces, and someone got a little excited and there's a gold piece in there.
Nice.
All right. So let's go back to the tavern. And as you guys are seeing the commotion kind of unfold, and by the time you get there, the two look like they have been severely bruised. The other 4 people that have surrounded her don't really seem to be too injured because she's been mainly focused on this one guy. But then you see the... Hold on, give me 1 second. So what are you gonna try to do when you get here?
I'm gonna throw hands.
You're gonna throw a hand?
I'm going to step in with a big, beautiful right hook and knock a dude on his ass.
All right. Go ahead and just roll me a normal attack. Are you proficient in unarmed strikes or no?
Joke's on you. I'm proficient in unarmed fighting.
Ooh.
As
But
I
it
roll
doesn't
like
matter because
crap.
as you spend most of your energy trying to make your way through the crowd, you finally get there and you throw a wild swing that just completely misses and like goes over his head. And then you can see the other 4 guys are like, hey, what are you doing? This ain't none of your business. And they kind of like start trying to shove you out of the way. And while they're distracted, you can see that the female half orc pushes the bald male back and then just kind of like punches him right underneath the jaw, knocking him out cold. And then at that point, the 2 people that were kind of like shoving you back turn around and they begin like focusing on her again, and she kind of gets knocked to the ground. But at this point, Dunham has had enough, and he's kind of like he's made his way directly behind you. You kind of made it easier for him to get to the fight. And he starts trying to pull some people off. Hey, take this outside, I said! He grabs one of the thugs and, like, throws him off to the side.
I'm gonna throw bread at this interloper who's hurting my comrades who have just given me, a good nighttime supply of giggle.
So you guys see this random cabbage just fly into the air, and just go ahead and do a ranged attack.
Sure.
It's not gonna do any damage, so you don't have to worry about any like penalties or something like that. Just go ahead and try it.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna roll dex then.
All right, so you just chuck this cabbage across the room, and it like pops Dunham in the back of the head, and you guys can see this cabbage just like filter every. Who did that? God damn it!
And mashed potatoes.
God to be damned! I'm tired of this. And then he just grabs the other 2. Get out! All of you, get out! And you, and he points at Balan. If your family doesn't resolve issues but just gets into the fight and makes it worse, I don't need your business here.
No. I am a merchant. We have professional fighters for that.
Yeah, well, you're a merchant that just took a swing. I thought you were gonna resolve the fight, not make it worse. And then
someone had to step in, and we're ganging up on a lady.
That's fine. You know what? If you're just, it looks like they're leaving, and as long as you don't start something else, that's okay. And he kind of heads back to the table. Today sounds like it's gonna be a busy day. And as he's heading back, you can see that she is not unconscious, but the man that she knocked out is being carried away. And because of that prod, you will go ahead and... Now, when I gave you the amount of coins, that's the amount of coin you would have been able to make off the win. There's obviously a much larger pool. There's like more silver pieces, more copper pieces, but the amount I gave you was the amount you would have made if you won the bet, and you did. So you get 10 copper pieces, 2 silver pieces, and a gold coin.
Yeah. I'm rich.
I scurry over and retrieve Fred.
Yeah. Dunham's a little frustrated by that flying cabbage, but you're able to pocket it. He was less concerned about the cabbage and more concerned about the people who were messing up his tavern. Although annoyed by whoever threw that, yeah, he kind of looks around, but doesn't give it too much thought.
Who has a full cabbage, really?
This halfling, apparently.
I carry him around in both my arms. Like the same size as me.
All right, so Balan, you're there standing over this female half-orc as she's just getting back on her knees. Or getting back onto her feet.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you so much for the help. Don't worry. And she pats you on the shoulder. You help family. Family helps you back. If you ever see me or need me, just let me know. And she kind of like brushes some of the dirt off her shoulder.
I'll hit her with a prestidigitation to clean her up.
Thank you. Does Zentarum never forget a good favor? Or does Zentarum never forget a good deed?
I'm glad I could simply be of it.
I walk over to the suave guy, I kick him in the shin, say meanie, and then walk out of the tavern.
Wait a minute, I just get assaulted by a child?
Well, what happens is a child walks up to you and hits your shin and calls you a meanie and then begins to head out of the tavern. And as you're heading out of the tavern, you kind of hear a loud roar and loud thuds begin to echo from the well in the center of the tavern. And to exit the tavern, you got to get past this well, right? So as you're kind of walking towards this exit, you see this large hand just kind of stick out of the well as it claws itself upwards, and you can hear this loud roar. And as the other hand comes upwards, you guys can see Sturges just like detaching from the back of this creature with blood just kind of dripping from its mouth, and these Sturges begin to just fly all over as they exit the tavern. And you guys can see what looks to be a partially injured troll begin to climb out of the tavern and just kind of roar tremendously as he swings his arms wide, hitting some of the patrons and almost hitting you, Sam. But your quick little halfling feats would definitely... you're kind of shorter than he expected, so he kind of swings over you. And that was just luck, right? You just got lucky that time. But I will need you all to roll initiatives as this troll just kind of goes on a rampage. And in the back, you can just hear, "Damn it! I knew today wasn't going to be an easy day! A troll!" And you can see Dunham like jumping onto the back of his table over some casts to grab what appears to be a greatsword.
Rip.
Actually, the place is kind of cramped, so you can just assume that he has reach of you guys, unless you state you're running to like the edge of the room to try to do some range attacks, alright?
Okay.
So at the moment, you kind of all within his range. He's kind of got like this this area where he can just step and grab one of you if he wants. Can you guys re-roll everything and go ahead and just add yourself on there?
Sure.
I forgot.
Is he this very generic looking person?
No, that's actually Dale.
No. Belan is the man in the blue.
Now you see that he is injured, and he's kind of bleeding profusely because the Sturges were feeding off him. But you can also see that those wounds are starting to close up. And okay, there you go. I'll just take that new roll. It's easier. All right. First to go up would be Sam. You see him kind of. So I'll put him right here because, as I described, he kind of he swung over your head, Sam.
I will disengage and run around to the periphery of the tavern.
All right. So you disengage and you get to the edge of the tavern, out of his reach. So he can't like as you try to step away, he try to grabs at you, but you're using your little quick feet, so you're hopping all over the place like a excited little halfling. And you probably chuck a leaf of cabbage at him, and he's
Yeah,
just
you
not
get
able,
him, Fred.
he's just not able to get a hold of you, and you make your way to the edge of the tavern. I believe that would be your action, correct? That would be everything.
Yeah, that would be my action. That's everything.
So we'll just put you over here so we know that you're kind of like safe.
Yeah.
Prod.
Odd is going to do the same thing but less elegantly, and with far more panic in his voice.
What they put in
Wiggling
this
his
mead? I'm seeing trolls.
coins that he hasn't managed to get into his coin purse and run
Oh.
away. And then he's going to turn around like a fierce beast now that he's out of range. He's going to pull out some rocks from his pocket, and he's going to cast magic on them. He's going to cast magic stone. He can't actually do anything with them at the moment. 'cause he runs
Is
there.
that a bonus action to turn your stones
Yes.
into magic? Okay. So you
I can
you
turn 3 of
disengage
them
and then you
stones.
enchant your stones with a magic stone. All right, that was your turn, Prod. And what about you, Balan?
Belan has faith in his martial prowess.
Actually, well, I can attack, can't I? I moved, and then I.
Well, disengage.
Bonus
You disengaged, which is an action.
Yeah, to disengage is an action, and then to move is your
Let him
movement.
punch me in the face.
If you
No,
wanted to move and provoke an attack of
I don't want to
opportunity-
die horribly, so I will not do that.
All right. I'm sorry, Balan. Go ahead and let us know what you're planning to do.
How far is he from the hole?
He's standing directly in front of it.
I'm gonna step up and try and shove him.
You gotta try and shove this larger creature.
Yes,
It'll work perfectly. What are you
It'll
talking
work
about?
perfectly.
because I think
Milan has
as
the
long
power
as
of
he
money.
is not larger than large, it's not a problem. This was all a setup. Abel knows that when I have high modifiers, I can't roll to save my life.
All right.
Why I suggested point buy.
Whatever you
I
guys
just
get.
need 8 across the board. I'll roll
Oh,
nothing
I
but
mean
20.
that's not bad.
Exactly.
You might actually be able to still knock him. That's not a bad roll, but it's not good enough. So Balan runs up to try to shove this troll back into the hole. And as he like shoulder bumps the troll stumbles back and catches himself on the edge of the well, that little knee guard that you got that Prod made fun of, and he just catches himself on it and pushes himself back up, and he's ready to go at Balan.
So
And then,
I believe the way 2-weapon fighting works in 5e, I can use a bonus action to throw an unarmed strike.
you can use a bonus action to make an attack, yes. And when you're doing the shove action, it just takes up one of your attack actions. So it took up your attack action, and you still have your bonus action to boom, try to throw a Hail Mary. A Hail Mary? That's not the word I'm looking for, but you get what I'm.
A Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
Does a 15 land?
15 does land.
And I'll just roll the d8 manually because I don't get a modifier on this. A cute little 3 damage.
You do a whopping 3 damage to it. Alright, let me just see if I can get something here. Alright, one Saikund.
That's when the troll just suplexes me into the yawning portal.
What I'm looking for here.
You only have to survive one level, Dale, and then I'll be there standing
Durnham.
beside you, helping you out.
Oh, might as well show you how Durnham looks. Here you
Yeah. That's one epic greatsword he has in his hand.
go.
I want one that works just like that.
Alright, here you go. He does jump over his table and make his way to you. Sadly, having to move all the way from the back of the tavern up to the front. Well, no, actually, the counter is right in front of the well, so he's able to jump over, move up to here, and he's going to try to help you guys out. He uses his greatsword to take a swing. Not only that, there are some other adventurers in the tavern as well that are trying to lend a hand here. So you guys see a flurry of magic missiles kind of strike this troll in the back, right? And they seem to be coming from multiple sources. So you guys aren't alone in the... Oh god. So those two wizards launch a magic missile and they do some pretty nice damage to it. And then Durnham steps up to try to assist you guys, and he takes a swing. And he lands a hit, doing 8 damage. Sadly, let me see if the other attacks may land, because he may not. Yeah, so only one other hit lands for another 8 points of damage. But at this point, the troll is going to go. How many attacks does this guy have? He's going to make 2 attacks. He's got 3 attacks total, and he's gonna start off with Durnham and Balan. 1d2 is what I meant. 2 would be for Balan, 1 would be for Durnham. Balan, Durnham, and Balan. He's coming twice at you. Alright, his bite would be going onto Durnham while his 2 claws are coming. Oh, actually, a claw is going onto Durnham, a bite's coming onto you, and 1 claw. Alright, so bite Durnham. I'm sorry, claw Durnham. And you see this claw just kind of swipe, and Durnham's not equipped to like be fighting at the moment other than his greatsword, and it just kind of cuts through his leather armor, which he still wears in occasions like this. But it leaves a nasty gash, but Durnham's not ready to go down yet. He's still fighting. A bite comes at Balan, but I believe a 10 will miss you, Balan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Alright. And then a second claw will come at Balan. A 22 will hit. So
Unfortunately.
yeah, that 15 hits Durnham. The 10 misses you, but then the 22 hits you for 7 points of slashing damage. And then you guys can see his wounds begin to kind of close up. Alright then. Sam.
This troll has stopped me from going out and thanking my friends and maybe trying to stab that orc in the back. I'm kind of miffed. So I'm gonna move around to hide behind a table and then prop Fred up to act as a lookout and try and snipe him from underneath it.
Alright, yeah, so you make your way around the table, you put Fred on top of it to be kind of like a lookout post, and then you pull out your, what was it, a short bow?
Yeah.
Okay. You pull out a short bow and go ahead and give me a stealth as you try to hide amongst the crowd and underneath the table. See if you can.
Sounds good.
His passive,
Not very well.
his passive perception, let me see. Luckily, or not luckily, as you make your way underneath the table, he kind of loses sight of you. Where'd little snack go? Of course, you don't speak giant, but that's what he's saying. And as you kind of put your cabbage, or you put Fred on top of the table, you face him in the wrong direction, so he can't let you know where he's at. and he's looking towards the counter, and Fred's unable to assist you here, and you kind of pop your head out, and the troll looks at he happened to just notice you as you shoot the arrow. The quiver goes soaring past the troll's head as he kind of like lurches to the side just a little bit. Prod.
That is me. Right, so I am going to. Balam took a pretty heavy hit, right?
A Balon,
Yeah.
yes.
Does he look like he could take another one of them?
Absolutely not.
If he's lucky.
How does this work? So I am going to cast Healing Word on him.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm typing it in. I can just press a button.
Yeah.
She's kind of back there encouraging me.
Heal you for 6 health, and then I'm going to throw my stone at the troll.
Nice. That's a pretty good heal right there. Oh, right. So you guys, as you're fighting in the tavern, you hear like some kind of druidic speech coming from the back corner. And Balan, as you hear this speech, you can feel your wounds begin to close up as healing up for 6 points of damage. And in the back corner, you guys also see a stone just go soaring through the air and pelting this troll where?
Right in the eyeball.
Right between
Perfectly
the
placed.
eyes. Clunk. Doing 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Alright, he's still up.
Unless I can get further away than him. But I don't think it's needed.
What about you, Balan?
I'm gonna try to shove him in the hole again.
Alright,
That's better.
Alright, yeah, so you kind of bend your knees over and you try to shove him into the hole again.
Put my back into it this time.
And this time, as he tries to resist your shove, he loses his footing, and you push him 5 feet back into the well. And you guys can see this troll begin to fall as he claws up, as his hands go up where he claws the edges, and you can just hear him like as the shouts from this troll get quieter and quieter as they echo through the tunnel or through the well. And then you just hear like a splat.
We should probably. Would I know about troll regeneration? How it works as a druid?
Yes. You would also know that this is a pretty deep fucking hole. So.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna
he
light.
can
I'm gonna light
regenerate,
some
but-
torches and throw them down. So hopefully the fire will.
Yeah. So
Look, I need
you guys see
regeneration.
Prod walk up to it with a couple torches and just kind of chucks them down the well to follow the troll.
I'll run behind the counter and grab a couple bottles of spirits to follow the torches.
Grab
Durham.
Fred
Oh, go ahead.
and also any unattended food.
Well distracted, yeah, you're able to pocket a few more donuts and potatoes and salmon. Jernum looks at you guys, although he can't really. He's probably lost track of the halfling, but looks at you too. Like, well, thanks for the help, and maybe you're not so bad. That was pretty useful. That you were able to soak up some of that troll claw, and you didn't go down. It's pretty amazing.
And I'm not even one of our members that are martially inclined. Are you sure you don't need a security force here?
I'll think about it. But for now, please enjoy the tavern, and let me know if you need anything.
Yeah.
Pod's gonna walk.
A small child walks out and spits on your shoe and then polishes like where he kicked you earlier. Thanks for saving me.
Why is there a small child in this bar?
Are you talking about Balan or Durham?
Balan.
Balan? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he kicked me earlier.
Yeah, now he's
Yeah.
polishing his shoe with spit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stand
Um,
next to Balam, and just like cough a little, hold out my hand, and point to the palm of my hand. That'll be two shards, please.
What? I don't carry pocket change.
You accepted the healing, but refused to pay for my services? Is this what passes for a noble these days?
I'm just gonna show him the signet ring, be like, send your bill here, son.
And yeah, within time, if you use that signet ring, you are familiar with the ways of the noble, since you are from Waterdeep. You can go ahead and send a bill to the family, and you will receive 2 silver pieces.
I will do that.
And as you guys kind of gather there, with Sam shining Balan's shoes and Balan kind of giving you a receipt for payment, or not a receipt, but a IOU for payment.
I owe you.
You can see off in the corner someone seems to be shouting at you guys. Oi, can you get over here? That was quite amazing. I'd like to treat you to some drink and food.